Hey everybody, Jim Benson here with the eighth and final PK Pro Tip of this series of PK Short Pro Tips. And this is on balance. And this ticket is a fun ticket because it can say work-life balance, it can say personal productivity versus team productivity balance, it can be learning versus working balance, it can be whatever kind of balance that you want. You as an individual need to show up. And nothing is more obvious or frustrating than when you are working with somebody else and they're not really there. So when life conspires to give you too much whip, it conspires to give you too much stress, when too many unexpected things happen over time, then you start to run into situations where you start to burn out. And technology has made us all constantly, if not on the edge of being burnt out, actually burnt out, because the amount of information and distractions that we get, even just by paging through any social media site, it is nothing but a constant set of context switching and interruptions. The creating, just like we said at the first, or I said at the first video in this series, creating that technology-free moment for you to not be distracted by a million things. So don't go run in the freeway for your technology-free moment. But like I said, for my technology-free moments, I read, I do music, I cook, and all of those things result in, weirdly enough, a product, a completed book, a completed piece of music, something, but they're completely focused work that actually requires me to not be looking at something else. So it's very hard to read a book and go through Facebook and blah, 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 blah at the same time. It's hard to read a book and watch television at the same time. You need to focus on these things. And so one of the beautiful things about hobbies is that hobbies might sound frivolous, but they are all areas of focus. They require focus. So create those technology-free moments and stick to them. So I cook almost every day. I read every day. I do music almost every day. I don't do all of them every day, but I have those outlets to make sure that when I show up at Modus Institute, all of me shows up. And sometimes that doesn't happen. More often than I would like, that doesn't happen. More often than not, I am dealing with stress in life, just like everybody else, just like you. And if I wasn't taking those times to unplug, let's just say that all of the time that you spend online is actually like an electrical transfer. And you're charging, and you're charging, and you're charging, and you're charging. And after a while, you're overcharged. And you're going to be nervous. You're going to have too much energy. You're going to do that. And then the more you do that, the more your battery burns out. And then you burn out. So create those zones. I implore you, use your visualizations, use your personal Kanbans to make sure that when those tickets come up, or when you do or don't engage in those behaviors, you can see that you skipped them. Because it's very easy to miss those things when you're paying attention to everything else.